let's do another simple problem. Let's suppose that now I'm asking, I have a sample of 11 observations that I know the variance is equal to 90. Let's even say I know that the mean is equal to 20. Okay. Now, the problem asks, what is the value for the sample variance that I would have to observe to have a probability that the sample variance is less than that number being equal to 2.5%, okay, or 0.025. Now, this has to do with probabilities. This came up in a general questions about the sample variance, or it can come up in a situation within the context of a testing, hypothesis testing. So I don't have the distribution of the sample variance per se. What I have the distribution is of n minus 1 s squared divided by sigma squared. So now we may want the probability that, let's call this number k, that n minus 1 times sigma squared divided by s squared divided by sigma squared is less than k times n minus 1 divided by sigma squared is equal to 0.025. Okay, I just multiply and divided both sides of this inequality by the same amount. Now we know that this is distributed as a chi-square with n minus 1 degrees of freedom. Where n minus 1 is 10. Okay, now I have to look at the table of the chi-square. Now, make sure you look at the two tables. You look at the right one that has numbers closer to what you're interested in. So in this case, I look at table 7b. N minus 1 is 10. So I'm only going to look at this line over there. Now, my question asks, what is the value here such that it leaves to the left 0.025? Okay. Now, the table does not gives me the area to the left, but it gives me the area to the right. But I know that the area under the curve has to be equal to 1. So in this case, the area to the right has to be 0.975. So which is the value that for a chi-square with 10 degrees of freedom leaves an area to the right equal to 0.975. That is the number here, 3.247. So I know that k times n minus 1 sigma squared has to be equal to 3.247. Now, the question didn't ask me this number. The question wants to know k. So k is 3.247 times sigma squared divided by n minus 1. So it's 3.247 times 90 divided by 10, that number should be equal to something like 29.22. So that number, such that the sample variance is 29.22, is the value such that the probability that the sample variance being less than that value is 2.5%.